Okay, guys, in this video, we will see the solution of question number 46. As you can see here in this question, Tarun is a new partner. Tarun is coming for 1/6 share because the new ratio is already provided here. Old ratio was 3:2, and the new ratio is 3:2:1. So when we have old ratio and new ratio together, we can find the sacrificing ratio directly, isn't it? You know it, how to calculate it, isn't it? So you can see here, and the revaluation account. See, the freehold property is worth rupees 50,000. Now, if you look at the balance sheet, freehold property is how much? 40,000, isn't it? So previously it was 40,000. Now it has to be how much? 50,000. So freehold property is an asset. That is why it is given in the asset column of balance sheet. So the asset is increasing. So when the asset increases, we write in the credit side of revaluation account, isn't it? We know that. Now, we also have one more adjustment, that is stock. Stock is reduced by. So whenever the amount is followed by the word by, write the amount directly. So in this case, the stock, that is asset, is being reduced or decreased. So when the asset is decreased, we write in the debit side. If you don't understand this, okay, if you have not understood this, the concept of revaluation account, please check the first video. Please check the first video, or you ask me the question, okay, uh, what is revaluation account, then only you continue the video. If you have not understood what is revaluation account, how to prepare this, stop the video immediately, call me or message me. Okay. uh, Stock is to be reduced by 10%. So stock is reduced by 10%. So look at the amount of stock in the question. Stock is how much? 16,000. So 10% of 16,000 will be how much? 1,600. So write in the debit side. Okay. Freehold property is already 10,000 in our credit side. Now see what is written here. Point number 3. Patents and goodwill are valued at 3,600 and 24,000 respectively. So patents previously it was how much? Uh, Patents, uh, okay, they never appeared in the books. Oh, sorry. This question is in the mobile phone. That is why. Okay, patents and goodwill were never there. Okay, it was never there in the books. So you have to write the amount of patents. That is 3,600. Remember that patents, goodwill, trademarks, copyrights, these all are the intangible assets. Okay, what are intangible assets? I will not discuss here. If you have question, you ask me. I will only explain question number 46 here. Okay. Now we will write patents because it is a long-term asset, that is a fixed asset. Okay, but goodwill we will not write. Remember, this goodwill is a very important thing, and while going through the questions of goodwill, I already mentioned that this goodwill is important. This goodwill is important till we do this dissolution chapter. This goodwill is important in all the chapters for this admission, retirement, death, dissolution. These 4 chapters, goodwill is important. So until and unless in the question, if it is not mentioned that goodwill is to be raised and written off, if in the question, if in the question nothing is said about goodwill is to be raised and written off, you will do nothing with goodwill. Okay, you will just treat it in a very simple way that I am teaching you right now. Keep the goodwill aside for a time being. Always, goodwill should be treated separately. Okay, so and remember, this goodwill is given in the adjustment. This goodwill is not given in the question. I mean the balance sheet. If there is, goodwill can be in 2 places. Number one, in the asset column of balance sheet, and number two, in the adjustment. But in this question, we have only in the adjustment. That is right. That is how much? 24,000. So we will do it separately. We'll do it afterwards. So we will write patents 3,600. Okay, 24,000 goodwill. We will see it afterwards. So there is one more adjustment. Point number four. A creditor of rupees 1,000 is not traceable for a number of years, and the amount is written back. So by creditor we mean those person, by creditors we mean those who have, who no, to whom we have to pay. Sorry, not from whom you owe, but to whom we have to. Yeah. So we have to pay. We have to pay back. Okay, we have to pay the due. But he was not traceable. Maybe his mobile number is not reachable, or maybe he's out of the country. Okay, he's gone. So we have to write back the amount now. That is the creditors. By creditors, we mean the liability. So which means 1,000 we don't have to pay because he's not traceable only. His number is switched off. Okay, and in this situation of lockdown, how will you go and pay the amount, isn't it? So just write the amount that 1,000 you don't have to pay it, isn't it? So for him, for that person, 1,000 is the loss because he will not get his amount. But for you, it is a profit, isn't it? It means your liability is decreasing, isn't it? So that is why you will write in the credit side. That means you don't have to pay anymore. 1,000 you don't have to pay because he's not traceable anymore. His mobile number is off. So enjoy the amount, 1,000 rupees. You can have the party with it. So in the credit side, we write freehold property 10,000 because freehold property is an asset. Asset is increasing. We write in the credit side. Patents, we are writing for the first time because in the question it is mentioned that they never have appeared in the books before. So we have to write it now. Okay, but we will not write the goodwill because goodwill we always do separately. Okay, goodwill, in fact, goodwill doesn't come in the revaluation account. Just remember this point. Goodwill never appears in the revaluation account. Okay, for a time being, I'm saying you. Okay, for a time being, goodwill appear in revaluation account also, only in the rare cases. I'll uh, I don't think that we have to do that particular question. I'm just going through. Okay, so freehold property, patents, sundry creditors, stock. So this is our revaluation account, and whatever is the profit, that is 13,000, we will share in the ratio of 3 is to 2. That is the old ratio. Remember, profit on revaluation or loss on revaluation will be shared between the old partners. Arun and Barun, they both are the old partners. Tarun is a new partner. Okay, so we have to share this profit 13,000 between Arun and Barun in the old ratio. That is 7,800, 5,200 as per the ratio of 3 is to 2. Okay, now let us move on to capital account. We write by balance BD for Arun and Barun. You can see here. Okay, I hope you have book in front of you while watching this video. Don't just watch the video, okay, like other YouTube videos and all, because this video is made specifically for the solution of the questions. So please have book, okay, by your side. Have the copy also. You can pause the video in between. You can rewind the video. I don't have to tell you all these kind of things. You know very well. Okay. So by balance BD for Arun and Barun, we extract this balance from the balance sheet that is given. Look at the balance sheet. Okay. Remember, until and unless we finish this balance sheet, okay, until and unless we finish the question, don't stop looking at the question. We have to look at the question continuously, okay, because this question only it guides us. Okay, so yeah, by balance BD, Arun Barun from the balance sheet, 40,000, 40,000. Okay, cash. You can see here by cash 19,400, 400. But in the question, nowhere is mentioned about this amount. Only this is mentioned that Tarun pays the amount required required amount of premium for goodwill and contributes as his share of capital 20% of the adjusted capital of Tarun. But what is that? Forget about it. Leave it for afterwards. Okay. We write the amount by balance BT 40,000 and 40,000. Okay. By cash, we just write. We will use the by cash here. Okay. Because in the question, there is cash. If it was bank, then we would write bank. Okay. By premium for goodwill. I have written here 2,400 and 1,600. How did I get this amount? Now look at the question. Tarun pays the required amount of premium for goodwill and contributes his share of capital, which means he is bringing premium for goodwill as well as his amount of capital. So whatever is the goodwill, okay, whatever is the share of goodwill of Tarun, he will bring in. So now go to point number three. Out there it was mentioned goodwill, isn't it? So goodwill was how much? 24,000. Oh, I haven't done this here. Sorry, I should have done that. Uh, how much is goodwill? 24,000, isn't it? Yes, 24,000. So now you can check the ratio. How much is the ratio? The new ratio is already given in the question. 3 is to 2 is to 1, which means Arun is to Barun is to Tarun. So Tarun is a new partner. So Tarun is supposed to bring in the premium for goodwill, isn't it? So Tarun, Tarun's share of goodwill will be how much? 24,000 into this 1 by 6. 3 plus 2 plus 1. Yeah, 1 by 6. How much it is coming? 4,000. Yes, that 4,000 is to be shared between Arun and Barun as per their sacrificing ratio. Always remember, the premium for goodwill that is brought by the new partner is to be shared between the old partners as per the sacrificing ratio. But the profit or loss on revaluation is to be shared always on old ratio. Remember this. So 4,000 he is supposed to bring. So this 4,000 is to be shared between Arun and Barun as per this ratio 3 is to 2. Okay, write the amount. Okay, till now don't write this amount 19,400 because we don't know from where it had come. In the question also it is not mentioned. Okay, but we know, just now we came to know that how much Tarun will bring as his share for premium for goodwill. How much he will bring for premium for goodwill? He will bring 4,000. How we come to know 4,000? Because goodwill amount is given. This goodwill is the total goodwill of the firm, 24,000. And his share of profit, how much? 1/6. So divide it, you get the amount 4,000. So he will bring 4,000 as his share of premium for goodwill. Okay. And that 4,000 will be distributed between Arun and Barun as per the sacrificing ratio. And just now we found this profit on revaluation. Okay, Arun and Barun. Write the amount 7,800, 5,200. Yeah. Again, I'm repeating, don't write this amount 19,400. Don't write it. Don't write it. Okay. Just write this 40,000, 40,000, 2,400, 1,600, 7,800, 5,200, and you do the total because there is no other adjustment. Look at the question one more time. There is no more adjustment. So just write the amount and just do the totaling of it. The total. Total it up 50,200, 46,800. What about this? We have written by cash. Don't worry about the amount. Just leave it. Do the totaling. Okay, 50,200. The same amount should be copied here. 50,200. Same amount, 46,800. Right to balance CD. 50,200, 46,800. Leave it blank. Still. Here also blank. 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 Blank here. Sorry, blank here. Blank here. Don't worry. I hope you have the copy with you right now so that you can understand the video properly. Okay. So after writing this, now we will look at the question one more time. Tarun pays the required amount of premium for goodwill. He will bring the required amount of goodwill. So we knew what was the amount of goodwill. That's the total amount of goodwill was how much? 24,000. We got the value. Now what is written here? And contributes his share of capital 20% of the adjusted capital of Arun and Barun. So now, just now we got the adjusted capital. Just now you have found this 50,200 and 46,800. This is the adjusted capital of Arun and Barun. As you can see here in the next slide here, this Tarun's capital is equals to 20% of capital Arun plus Barun. So which means the adjusted capital. This 50,200, 50,200, 46,800 from Barun, 46,800. Do the total. How much it will be? 97,000. So now you do the percentage, and that is 20% of 97,000. How much you will get the amount? 19,400. Yes, this is the capital that Tarun is bringing. Okay, so write the amount. Now you write the amount. 19,400, 19,400, everywhere, whatever is the place. Yeah, you have to do this working note. Okay, on top here, you have to write working note, Tarun's capital. You can do that way. Okay, you can even show this for the share of goodwill of Tarun also. 24,000 into 1 by 6 for the 4,000. You don't have to show it because it is already mentioned in the question. It is understood. Okay, but if you want to do, you can do it. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Now let us move on to balance sheet. Now see, for making this balance sheet, you have to follow the same pattern. Okay, yeah, listen this video carefully. I mean, watch and listen this carefully because the rest videos, I mean, 47, 48, I'll not be, giving the stress on the items, on the same items. I mean, okay, on the same items again and again. I'll be focusing on only on the problem area. Okay, I will not talk about the preparation of balance sheet, revaluation, old ratio, new ratio, sacrificing ratio. You know it. You should know it by now. Okay. Anyway, so while we prepare the balance sheet, we have to follow the same pattern that is given in the question. I told you, no, until and unless we complete the sum, we have to look at the question continuously. Look at the question continuously. Don't look at your friends. Look at the question only. So freehold property is given here. It is 40,000. So whenever, now see, this is a trick here. Okay, this is what we do. Whenever you write the figure of any asset given in the balance sheet. Okay, and balance sheet, the question balance sheet. Okay, and whenever you have to write it up in the new balance sheet which you will prepare in your answer, before you write the figure, look at the revaluation account, like freehold property. If you look in the question now, freehold property is given. Hmm? So you have to write 40,000 in the balance sheet now, isn't it? But look at the revaluation account once. What is there in the revaluation account? Now look at the revaluation account. Now search for it. Freehold property. If it is in the, now you're looking at the asset side of balance sheet, isn't it? So you have to look at the both debit side and credit side. If it is in the credit side, it means it is plus. If it is in the debit side, minus. If it is credit side, plus, debit side, minus. Now freehold property is in the credit side, isn't it? Which means it is plus. So 40,000 plus 10,000, which means your freehold property is being appreciated. Okay, so write the amount 50,000. Plant and machinery. Look at the question now. Look at the question. Plant and machinery 20,000. Can you see the plant and machinery in revaluation account? Look at this revaluation account. No, you cannot see it, isn't it? Write the amount directly 20,000. Okay, now go to stock in trade. How much is given? 16,000. Look at the revaluation account one more time. Find it. Where the stock is given? The stock is given in the debit side, which means minus. So you have to subtract it. That is depreciation. 14,400. Okay. Now look at sundry debtors one more time. 12,000. Now sundry debtors. Is there anything given in the revaluation account? Sundry debtors. Nothing is mentioned about sundry debtors. Write the amount directly. Okay. Now cash is there. Okay. But before you write the final item of the balance sheet, look at the revaluation account one more time. We read about freehold property. Huh? We read about this stock also. I'm just talking about the asset column of the balance sheet. Okay, we will move on to liabilities afterwards. So we did adjustment for this freehold property, this stock, but we this creditors is in the liability column, so don't worry about it because this is not in the asset column, no. So don't worry about this sundry creditors. Freehold property, we add 10,000, we subtract 1,600. But what about this patents? This patent is also an asset, so we have to write this patents before we write the cash amount. What is happening? Okay, so we write 3,600. Okay, for patents, and we get this value from the revaluation account. Okay. Okay, now cash. Like cash was already 8,000 in the business, isn't it? Cash was already 8,000. Now, when Tarun is being admitted, Tarun is a new partner, isn't it? So when Tarun was admitted, he will bring how much? He will bring this amount, 19,400, isn't it? So this 19,400 should be added. 8,000 plus 19,400 plus that 4,000. Why this 4,000? 4,000 for the premium for goodwill, if you remember. So yeah, you have to sum up all the items. 31,400 will come, and do the totaling of the asset column. It will come 1,31,400. You must be getting bored, every time I have to write the figure from the asset column before I write in this new, I mean in the answer, okay, answer balance sheet. I have to look at the revaluation account again and again and again. Yeah, this is the process. This is how we learn. Okay, because at this stage you are learning, no. Once you get habituated, you don't have to look at the revaluation account. You will get the trick on your own. Just at least you need to practice minimum 10 sums uh, properly. You will get to know. You don't have after that you don't have to look at the revaluation account. You will know. You will have that figure in your mind. Okay. Now let us move on to liabilities column. The same format. We will follow the same format. Sunday creditors. It is given how much? 16,000 is given, and look at the revaluation account. See the Sunday creditors. It is appearing in the credit column. Okay. If any liability is appearing in the credit column, which means it is minus. And if any liability is in the debit column, it means it is plus. So we will do the subtraction. 16,000 minus 1,000, 15,000. Okay. After writing something creditors, what we have? We have capital accounts. You can see this balance CD here, isn't it? Write these amounts directly. Do the total. You will get the same figure, that is 1,31,400. Okay. These two amounts should be equal. If it is not equal, then it is a problem. Somewhere is the problem, and you have to find the problem. Now let us move on to journal now. Okay, so here, I couldn't draw the line here because it is a very hectic process. First you have to solve the question, then you have to type it, then you have to take the picture of it, then you have to, it's a very lengthy and record the video after that, edit the video. It's a very lengthy process, so I couldn't do that. But I request you to draw a line so that each and every journal entry will be separated. It will be easy, very easy to have a look. Okay. Okay, so and yeah, while writing this two, no, this two, just don't start from here. Just give us little space here so that it is easily visible, because this is what we do. This is the actual form. But some of you, you have starting from here only two. Some of you are writing from two from here only. No, no, don't do that. You have to give a space here. Why? Because this is only the process. No, because for the debit item we write this debit, but for the credit item we don't write credit. So that is why for the credit items we give the space here. Okay. Anyway, we know these two first journal entries. We have been doing this from the long time. Hmm. So whenever a new partner comes in, his account is capital account is credited. Premium for goodwill will be also be credited. with the amount that is brought together, that is 19,400, that is capital brought in by Tarun, as well as the premium for goodwill 4,000. Total is how much? 23,400. Now this premium for goodwill will be shared between old partners in the sacrificing ratio, as it is mentioned in here. You have to write the narration. Narration. I didn't draw the line because it is not that necessary, but writing narration is very important. That's in the examination also. Okay. So premium for goodwill should be you know distributed between Arun and Varun as per the sacrificing ratio. Do it. Now, while doing this journal entries, okay, listen this very carefully because I will not repeat this again, this journal entry. But if you want, I can repeat, but have a look at this video and then you give me the feedback. If you want, please ask me question, okay? Anyway, uh, go to a revaluation account. That is why I am not doing journal before, okay? Because this journal entries are actually formed from the ledger accounts, or we can start with the journal also from the beginning. But uh, I personally think it is better to teach you ledger accounts first, then the journal entries afterwards. After you become familiar with all the terms, you can start from anywhere. You start from ledger, you start from journal. It is very simple. Okay, look at this revaluation account. Revaluation account here is debited by stock. Forget about this profit or loss. Okay, profit is here and loss will be here if there is loss. So don't worry about profit and loss. Worry about the other items. You can see here revaluation account is what? Debited to stock. So this is the first journal entry. We found the journal entry just now. Revaluation account. Revaluation account debit to stock. See? Revaluation account debit to stock. Narration you can see here. Okay, write the same amount that is given in the revaluation account. Now look at the revaluation account one more time. See, uh, revaluation account is now what? Credited here. How much? By what items? By these items: freehold property, patent, sundry creditors, by 14,600. It is now credited. Revaluation account is credited by 14,600. These items. So entry will be freehold property debit, patents debit, sundry creditors debit to revaluation account. See, this is now this profit 13,000 you can see here in the revaluation account also. Revaluation account is being debited. This is debit. Okay, so revaluation account debit to Arun's capital account to Barun's capital account. Okay, this much only. This is the question. Question number 46. See, we could do 1, 2, 3. These 3 entries we could have done by a single journal entry, by passing a single journal entry. That is called compound entry. But you will not understand right now. So it is better that we pass it separately. Okay. If you have any questions, please message.